we're driving more than 8,000 kilometres over 14 days through outback towns over rugged terrain to perform real-world testing of the new Made for Australia Bailey rangefinder caravans. And we'll have company. Coming along for the trip are Adrian van Galen, Eddie van der Staat and Gina Stanwell from Bailey, Australia, who are led by veteran of outback travel Warwick Mackenzie. Simon Howard from Bailey, UK will also be coming along to see firsthand how the vans cope with harsh Australian conditions, as well as the Caravan Club's Hannah Pointer, dubbed Caravan Han, who has flown in from the UK to experience outback Australia firsthand. In what is their biggest challenge to date, the two rangefinder caravans, the Nebula and the Gemini, will be towed by two Toyota Land Cruisers. Their mission? To get from the Indian Ocean to the Pacific Ocean, right across the full width of Australia. Well, here we are in Alice Springs in the centre of Australia and just over halfway into our Bailey West to East Challenge. It's been a long haul so far since we left Shark Bay several days ago. We've come through more than 1,100 kilometres of conditions that you would not take a pure on-road van like this through. In fact, we've got more than 1,100 kilometres of unmade roads ahead of us out of nearly 3,000 before we dip our toes in the water at Byron Bay.
The trip has been sensational so far. We've experienced some real highs. The vans have been performing incredibly well and we're impressed with the durability of both the chassis and the Alu-Tech system, which is our unique patented body shell system.
We've been through some incredible scenes with the caravans. The drives are fine, even though the roads are long and straight, there's something different around every turn. So whether it's hitting different types of sand or different performance, different tarmac, it's been an ever-changing journey.
We're here at Anzac Hill overlooking all of Alice Springs, and this is a very significant place both to Australians and also to the Aboriginal people who came beforehand. For the Aboriginal people, this is the scene of the Corkwood Dreaming, referring to the timber that surrounds this place. To the Australians since 1934, it's a place of remembrance of all the great wars, and in particular it's the annual Anzac ceremony that is staged here. Well, we're just past the de-restriction sign, which in the Northern Territory means we can do pretty well any speed we like rather than observe the 110 or 130 km/h limits. And for most caravanners, that really means about 90 to 95 kilometres an hour. That's the long distance travelling speed that is a good balance between pace and fuel economy. But in this case, with the 21'7" Bailey rangefinder Gemini bunk van behind us and the Toyota Land Cruiser 200 series that I'm currently driving, together provide one of the very best caravan tow experiences I've ever had, and I'm not exaggerating there. This caravan is equipped with a Hayman Reese weight distribution hitch. What this does is it actually levels the caravan and gets the correct ball weight. Now the other thing is Bailey Australia has done is take the best of the two worlds, put the British body, wonderfully thermally efficient, lightweight, very, very strong, on top of a traditional Australian tram rail chassis, if you like, and also put then Australian suspension underneath, which means excellent ground clearance and proven rugged reliability. Now that combination in these caravans has saved around 400, 450 kilograms in the chassis alone, because the floor is a structural member of the whole underpinnings, and it's reflected in the fuel gauge.
Together. Thank you. So we've invented a game and it's called Paddy Melon Bowls. The aim of the game, ladies and gentlemen, is to bowl your paddy melon and to try and get it as close to the jack as possible.
Oh. Check the winner. See that?
No, here's the winner, look.
Can't wait to get into the melon bowling. I think that's going to be one of my the highlights of my life.
I got my melon and I'm ready to bowl.
What's that? Cheering, please!
I'm a bit concerned that it's not taking spin.
Eddie squashed my melon deliberately. Look at that. I need melon repair.
Round two, round two.
We didn't win this many points.
Cracked the windscreen on our Land Cruiser on the way. Not our fault, car going in the opposite direction decided to leave us a little present. It's growing quite fast, so by the end of the day we'll have done the full windscreen. Here we are in Tobermory, right on the border of Northern Territory and Queensland. We're now 2/3 of the way along our trip and the vans have performed extremely well. The team's having a great time, we're enjoying the whole experience out here, and 2/3 of the way done, 1/3 to go. Byron Bay's looking good.
We're just about in Boulia, as you can see, the end of the Donahue Highway, and before that the Plenty Highway from Alice Springs. We're just about through to the last leg of the dirt and the ruts and the corrugations. This whole west to east exercise has been fascinating, not only to us from Caravan World, because rarely do we get the chance to spend this long with new caravans in such harsh conditions, but it's also been very interesting for Bailey Australia and its future customers of rangefinder vans. These are true test rigs, and the interesting thing about it is then, because Bailey isn't a custom builder, the structure of every van, its fitting, its cabinetry, all of the underpinnings are the same. So everything that breaks on one of these vans, and a few things haven't gone totally according to plan, but everything that breaks can be fixed, and when it is fixed, it'll work for every single production van that follows it. So the customer is a winner in this.
Ding! Here goes the toast.
Well, we've made it to Birdsville, the outback capital of remote Australia, and behind us the famous Birdsville Hotel, an institution since 1884. It's like a fairground here. There are people everywhere, and they've heard about us coming, which is all the more remarkable, the power of social media. Now, leaving us here, Simon Howard from the UK, he's going back to the Bailey factory in Bristol.
Last stop of the trip for me, just get some final shots of the Birdsville Hotel. Everything's gone extremely well. The vans have held up superbly, as have the team, and yeah, sad to be leaving.
Back on the road again, on to Byron Bay. Tonight we're enduring our very last bit of dirt for 180k.
Oh my God! Here we go! Woohoo!
No more dirt, and Hannah
No
is
more
happy.
dirt.
tarmac.
Tarmac, darling.
Okay, our tyres have served us very, very well. We haven't had any punctures whatsoever. It's time to lift the tyre pressures because we've got bitumen road all the way through to Byron Bay.
One night in Roma is over. We're on our way to Byron today. Last day, 600 k's to do. Indian Ocean, meet Pacific Ocean. We made it the whole way. It's a massive, massive sense of achievement actually getting here and in one piece. I thought there might be a few injuries along the way, maybe a few disasters, but there really hasn't been, so it's a massive sense of achievement. The whole team's been fantastic. The highlight of the trip has been the gang, the team, the crew. Yeah, meeting everybody has been amazing. There's some really dedicated, hard-working people here who have worked tirelessly to get this challenge underway and have succeeded. It's been a massive success.
I think Bailey has proven that our vans are more than capable of going where other people may fear that they can't. Certainly the vans themselves have proven that they can throw everything out at it, but they are ideally suited for rough terrain. Well, the plans for Bailey now is to push the button in production. We have everything lined up, all the chassis in place, and we're about to finish training the team and kick off with production.
Well, we've made it. Nearly 2 weeks and 6,000 kilometres. We've travelled all the way from Shark Bay, the most westerly point on the Australian mainland, to Cape Byron, over here behind me. Beyond that, South America. The two rangefinder caravans, on-road vans, have performed magnificently on harsh corrugations, lots of dust, more than 2,200 kilometres of unsealed roads. So what's the point of all this? Well, when they get back to the factory in Melbourne, all the lessons learned from this trip are going to be ploughed back into production versions of these vans, and the Australian caravan public will reap the benefits of our trip.